This is the Expect Awesome Podcast, your source for expecting and achieving awesome with a God-powered confidence. And now, motivational speaker and Integrity Doctors President, Mr. Ryan K. Maule.
That's right. We are back. We are back, everybody, to another week here at the Expect Awesome Podcast, where I am going to help you achieve your God-powered awesomeness. That's right. We're back at it, and I've got a training for you today. I've got a teaching that I think is going to help everyone. If you're listening right now, this may be the thing that unlocks the next thing. All right? So here's what I want to jump into. I want to jump into a very simple concept because I'm all about results. I want to make sure, especially when we're doing coaching, when I'm talking to doctors, I'm talking to staff, the one thing that matters most is results. If I'm not getting the results I want to make sure to look into all the different avenues to see where it is the buck is being dropped, wherever the thing is that's not working, wherever we're leaving things behind. And there's always this one little thing. It's one of the hardest things to analyze. It's one of the hardest things to talk about. And it's also one of the hardest things to admit that you're not doing. And that is effort. It's effort. It's how much effort are you truly putting in? Because there's a lot of people that say they put in a lot of effort. There are some people that don't put in any effort. But then the problem with not putting in any effort is you still expect the results of all the effort. And that isn't going to work. See, in order to get to where you want to be, to get to your awesomeness, to achieve what God has set forth in your life, it's going to take effort. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some push. It's going to take some grind. It's going to take you getting out there and putting yourself in the way of things so that you can actually achieve the awesomeness that's been expected of you. So in order to do this, we have to understand how much effort plays in the role of achieving the results that we want. And to do this, I want to give us a little example, okay? I want to use an example from the summer. So this summer, one of our vacations, we went to, for one of our events, we went to Dollywood. And I took my wife and 3 kids, and we went to Dollywood for our event. And we spent a couple days going to the Dollywood theme park, which was awesome. Loved it. Loved that place. Couldn't recommend it enough. It was amazing. Now, here's one thing that they do. So now, we're a Florida family, so we're used to going to Disney. We go to Disney quite a bit. We're at SeaWorld, Busch Gardens. We're kind of used to the whole theme park thing, but they did something different at Dollywood that we'd never seen before. And that is when you walk in the park and you immediately come in, if you have children, the children all have to go stand in line to get measured. And they get measured for their height to see what ride they're going to get. And whatever measurement they are measured at, they get a wristband that corresponds with a color so that the workers know how tall the child is. So we go to this deal. And, I've got, most of you know, I have a 12-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. 12-year-old girl, 5-year-old boy, 3-year-old boy as well. And my 5 and 3-year-old, the rides are especially a big deal for my 5-year-old, Nolan. Loves the rides, loves roller coasters. And because, as you can see by myself, he's no small kid. He's a big kid. He's not your average 5-year-old. He's tall, man. He's a big old boy. And he can ride some roller coasters. He's on rides that he probably shouldn't be on. And there just so happened to be one ride he was really excited to go on. There was one he saw it from the parking lot, thought it looked incredible, and he talked about it the whole way in. But then we go in and we got to get in this line. And when we get in this line, they're going to measure him. So they pull him in there. And I'm telling you, this kid is as happy and excited. He can also be as ornery as all get out. And that kid was super annoyed with this process. My son, he was super annoyed with the fact that he had to be measured. Like he's above this now. He's 5. He feels like this is below him. And so he gets measured. And I'm telling you, he walks up to this thing and just kind of relaxes his body and just kind of hangs his head and rolls his eyes while they're doing it. And just as annoyed as all get out because he doesn't want to be bothered with this measuring thing. He just wants to go get in line for the rides. So he does this deal, and they put a wristband on him. We get to the very back of the park. Finally, after midday, after we've done a few things, and we find this roller coaster he's wanting to do. And we get up to the line, and they say, "You're not tall enough." And I'm telling you, the look in his face, I mean, he turned white as a ghost. The tears just started welling up because he measured 49 inches and the ride was 50 inches. Now, here's the funny thing about it. Now, he's just besides himself. There's no, how is this possible? How did this happen? No, I'm tall enough. I'm tall enough. I can get on this ride. I can do it. And he's just, I'm like, but I'm sorry, you measured at 49 and you got the wristband to prove it. And we can't get on it. They're not going to let you on the ride today. And I mean, he was just crushed. That's all we talked about the whole rest of the day. Wasn't how great the park was. Wasn't how great everything went. Not how excited he was. But man, we missed out on that one. He was just absolutely crushed. And as it would happen, we ended up going back to Dollywood 2 days later. And this time, while we're walking up to that deal, I said, Nolan, now understand this. I believe you're tall enough to ride that ride. But last time we did this, you didn't take this seriously. You got in line and acted like you didn't want to do it and you didn't care. Now, but if you stood up straight and you stood with your head up and neck out, I'm willing to bet you're going to get it. And so sure enough, we wait in line. We go through the line. He stands up, puts his head up real tall, stands as strong and firm and as straight as I've ever seen him stand. And sure enough, guess what he did? He reached the 50 mark. They put the 50 band on him and he was able to, he got that 50 and he goes, let's go, baby. And he starts jumping. He starts high-fiving people in line. It was so, people didn't even know why we were high-fiving. Like they didn't understand. But here's the thing. He gets to ride the ride now. He's thrilled. He's excited. And there's only one difference between today and 2 days ago. And that was his effort. See, he went in there just thinking, this doesn't really matter. This is not that big a deal. I don't have to, I'm just going to stand here. I'm good enough. I've got this, whatever. And he didn't measure enough. But the thing I love about the point of this example is that he didn't need anything else to hit that deal. It's not like we had to go fill his shoes with socks or add a couple inches to the bottom of his shoes. We didn't have to go and stretch him on a decompression table to the point that maybe we might add a few inches. He already had the inches. He already had everything he needed. God gave him everything he needed, and yet he didn't put the effort in. And until he was willing to put the effort in, he wasn't going to get on that ride. So when the goal was to get on the ride, he had to put in the effort. And how many times do I see this in offices? How many times do I see this in our businesses where I see people that are complaining about the results they give in, but then when I ask about the effort, then when I look at the effort put in and I see that very little effort was even shown, and I'm always surprised at how the reaction is, I can't believe I didn't get this. Like the results should have just been handed to you. Like the results should have just been guaranteed. Like you should have just been able to been, entitled to them. When in reality, nothing comes without effort. So for those of you listening right now, I'm going to tell you, if you're not hitting your goals, if you're not hitting what you need to hit, if you're not reaching the things you need to hit, if there are things that are expected of you and you haven't been doing it, stop blaming everything else and maybe start looking at the effort you're putting in. Have you trained hard enough? Have you practiced hard enough? Have you role-played hard enough? And then when you get into it, are you fighting for your results or are you just, whatever, they said no. That's on them. They didn't want to do it. See, I'm willing to bet that some of you out there could have a complete turnaround in the way things are going if you just threw in a little bit more effort. If you were willing to just stand a little bit taller. If you were willing to just push a little bit more. I'm willing to bet that your effort isn't quite there. Because one of the lies we like to tell ourselves is, well, I gave 100%. No, you didn't give 100%. Nobody really gives 100%. You know how I know that? Because if you gave 100%, you couldn't walk. 100% means you had to literally been carried to the car. 100% means you didn't have enough strength to drive home. Someone had to come get you. No, we aren't giving 100%. A lot of times when we say we're giving 100, we're probably giving around 75, 80. And I'm willing to bet that the majority of us aren't even giving close to 50. But if you put in more effort and you push just a little harder, not with things you don't have, but with everything that you're already equipped with, I'm willing to bet awesome will be headed your way. So don't skimp on the effort. Don't leave out the effort. Don't fake your way through. Don't fake it till you make it. Don't just act like as long as I just do it. Like just completing the task is what's necessary. Like just checking it off the box. No. I'm talking about effort, man. Put in the effort. An awesome amount of effort results in an awesome amount of results. Awesome efforts, awesome results. Awful efforts don't get awesome results. It's time to put in the work. Thanks for listening this week. I will see you soon for another episode of the Expect Awesome podcast.
For more awesomeness, visit RyanKMaule.com or follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Ryan K. Maule. Until next time, keep smiling and remember, you are awesome.